Again, we're going to be kicking it with some ranked, only this time I have a few new standard decks. I know the last time I played I only had the updated Pestilence deck and then this Shutterwalk one that I was using, but I actually made a Mage deck, a Priest deck, and then a new Warrior deck. So this one on the top left, just to be clear, the reason why this one always stays in standard is because this is the first custom deck that I ever made back when I only had like classic and basic cards. So a lot of the cards that are, or all of the cards in the deck just aren't ever going to cycle out, I guess. But I'm a bit of a sentimentalist. I'll always keep the first of anything I do. I try to leave intact. So this deck really hasn't been edited since probably the first week that I've been playing the game, which was several years ago at this point. So yeah, honestly, I'm going to start out with this Warrior deck. As always, it's when it loads the first match, I always get this little bit of pushback, but looks like we're going to be going through in the clear, guys. Alright, so I usually struggle with whether or not I want to keep a spellstone in my hand because obviously its utility increases as you're able to upgrade it, but you know, you're not really... Oh, well, if I was just going to end up with a with another 7-drop in my hand, I probably could have made the sacrifice. It's coming a little bit loud here. Or maybe it's just loud while it's right in my face. Either way, that's too much, though.
Is someone injured?
Honestly, I really do like the upgraded hero powers and that they're making use of those outside of Justicar. Because it was such an interesting idea, there's no reason it should have been limited to just one expansion. Tar Creeper, I would say, is a pretty solid answer to everything he's got here, unless he's running Pain. Ideally, I would really like to get a weapon right now. Well, maybe not that weapon exactly. Once again, it looks as though I'm having a few issues with the stream. So I'm trying to double check and make sure that my connection's in order here.
This jungle hides many secrets.
There are so many weapons that have, you know, 5 or more attack. I wish I had literally gotten anything except Candle Shot there. Okay, that's just unnecessary. Though on the bright side, it's looking like I'm probably not actually going to need to use Molten Blade just yet, because I could probably go into a decent Gorehowl turn. You know, Scalebane, for being a common, is just such a powerful game-shaping card. Actually, you know what? Drawing into Brawl right now wouldn't be bad either. Well, no, that would be pretty bad, because if anything besides the... Oh, no, this... I guess I misunderstood this egg. I haven't had a chance to really look at all of the new Witchwood cards. Okay. So this is tough, obviously, because... Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. And then next turn, if this doesn't turn into a Hunter's Bow, which would be the dream, I'll just use Gorehowl to take out Scalebane, who's probably going to buff this dude to a 7-3, which will suck. I'm wondering, because it's looking as though my visuals are having a little bit of trouble coming through clearly here, so... Oh no, I am running on medium quality, so... That's weird. So... Got an idea of how I'm going to do this. Also, in case anybody's concerned, yeah, I realize that obviously going forward I'll have to resolve this, but I will be able to still, you know, clip this and put it on YouTube and everything just fine, because I'm recording it in OBS, which might also be part of the reason why I'm having such visual lag, actually. So why don't I stop that recording and see if that does anything for us. Does that do it? Sure enough, it's looking like that might have been it. That was the issue, is that I was also recording in OBS. Yeah, okay, so that fixed it. Oh, was that Dragon Soul that I just missed out on? Well, it doesn't matter, because honestly I wouldn't have been able to do that much damage. That's right. So let's see what we draw into. So, he wins if he got a Sarah Awakens or Nightmare. If not, I could potentially start protecting myself, because I can Ironhide into Sleepy Dragon. Obviously, Sulfuras is something that would have to wait until later in the game, once I really built up more armor, but this deck is built to last, so in all honesty, I don't foresee a whole lot of issues with that. It's awesome that I was able to resolve that video issue, because I was a little bit concerned when that started happening last time. I thought it was my network, and that I was going to have to adjust my whole setup. This is really inconvenient. Okay. Ironhide. This. Shield Slam. Ooh. That was so clutch. So I'm gonna try something. Just to check. Wait, what? That's not necessary. Please and thank you. The reason I decided to go for that instead was mostly because if he has, like, oh, I guess if he has a Sarah Awakens, I'm just kind of dead anyway. But he's had that full hand, so he shouldn't really have been able to be getting a bunch of Ysera cards, or Dream cards, technically. We're getting there, guys. We're figuring it out. What was the thing I was about to do? Oh, yeah, I wanted to see... Because, look, this isn't not, like... This isn't a weak machine, you know? This is a well-built computer, so... I shouldn't really be running into a whole lot of visual troubles by playing it on high quality. Are you kidding? Oh, stop. Figured it out. Not good. Not good at all. I know, and I'm still in rank 20. I can't tell if I'm getting like a few video hiccups here, but it doesn't look like the quality really affected anything. I think I usually set it to medium quality if I'm like doing something kind of intensive or demanding, like trying to play a couple matches while watching Hulu or something. That sucks. That's a garbage opening hand. I'm really upset. I'm really excited for the solo content to get on here. I really enjoyed streaming dungeon runs. That was, I mean, I wasn't doing like face cams or anything, but I would like stream those on my Facebook. Huh, how about that? What I really like about Odd Warrior is that it's literally the anti-hunter. Where, like, I'm going to be consistently gaining twice as much armor as damage he can do to me per turn, with a 0 power at least. Oh yeah. What I really like about this one is that, if I only ran one Fiery War Axe, just the completion of my quest alone also helps to upgrade it. So maybe there are slightly too many big things in this deck. That's something that I could potentially be looking into fixing once I tweak it. That's something you saw, and I know this probably isn't, you know, a lot compared to like what some paid players might be running into. But I'm rocking like 800 gold right now. So I've just been sitting on that honestly because I'm not very good at Arena, but I just feel like it's inherently more profitable to play Arena with your gold than it is to, you know, just spend it on packs. Largely because Arena is just a fun mode of play, I would say, but also because, you know, obviously you, like, if you win 2 matches pretty much, you might be walking away with 50 gold, at which point you've pretty much broken even. You know, with the 1 pack and everything. So, okay, come on. Oh, well, he already used one deadly shot, so... I mean, I guess in a deck with no minions, he probably is pushing 2 of those, but if he is, then that'll be his second one. I'm going to coin out my big taunt here, the Sleepy Dragon. Leok is possibly the best possible thing he could have gotten. Well, no, another Huffer probably would have just... I wonder what he's going to do with this, though. Interesting. So we figured out a way to make it a trade. Yeah, I was going to say that doesn't really seem like the best move. I know that kind of seems like a small minion you use Gore Howl on, but it was mostly so I could upgrade this one more time before using it. I'll probably use it next turn. Plus, it gives me the resources to... No charge. What up? 15-15 in stats for 7 is really not bad. Relax there, buddy. So I'm probably not going to stream for super long tonight because I do have work tomorrow and I want to get a chance to kind of, you know, chill and relax and stuff before then. This is called 1 hour of relaxing and beautiful Xenoblade 2 music. That's what I'm listening to right now. And some of it is very relaxing, but some of it's just plain foreboding. I'm a little surprised to see it on this list. God, why did I do that? There are lessons to be learned about sequencing, and clearly I haven't quite gotten there yet. Look, I never claimed to be perfect. The Hunt Alone deck I know is far more control style, and most of your minions either come from spells or from Rexar. But I don't know how much I believe that he's going to be able to hold out against me. Whether I drop Sulfurous right now or not, which I definitely don't plan on doing. You know, 17 is not a great place to be, I would say, given what I'm trying to accomplish here. Are we having another issue with the stream? So obviously, with this being like my third-ish actual Twitch game stream, I don't have all of the science of it down. But I've got confidence and personality. And that's all we really need out here. Looks like the video is starting to kind of come back together. Although it's a little bit far behind. Is the issue, like, I'm trying to understand what the issue is here, because what have you got for me? Whoa. You know, honestly, I didn't even look at the Hunter cards. That's something that I have to do. I've looked at like every class except Hunter and Rogue, which is funny because Rogue is a class that I really enjoy. I'm still going to try and rework my old class. Quest Rogue. This sucks. Oh, did I just get killed by that? Y'all remember that thing I said earlier in the match about how I don't think he could hold out against me? Famous last words, maybe? Hey guys, check out this cool new deck I made. Loses twice in a row. Well, stick to what we know, right? I guess it's probably not the easiest thing in the world to convince people that you are actually good at a game when, you know, the past 2 streams I've had, I think I've lost every match, and in the first stream I was winning matches back to back, but that wasn't like ranked 24. You know, what can I say? Every time a meta rotates, you know, it takes a little bit for me to kind of get adjusted to it. Kobolds and Catacombs is one that I, you know, spent so much of it doing dungeon run. Which I realize sounds like an excuse, but yeah, I mean, it's legitimately the truth. It's super fun. Solo mode, you know, I was really into it. And now I'm kind of in position where Witchwood I followed up to launch, but yeah, the meta is kind of forming so quickly around different types of I guess enhancements for decks that were already really big that I didn't really know the most about countering, like Cube Block and Dude Paladin. Except this Dude Paladin, because he just made a weird choice. That hero power, man, it's just too powerful to have at the start of the game. That early tempo is just too much.
Nature's blessings upon you.
I'm probably going to switch back to Malfurion. Good move. I want to keep drawing into resources, and I might potentially want to save that Wrath for something a little bit bigger. If my options are still to continue drawing into stuff, but to do so without having to sacrifice removal. Especially because even if he charges... So I think we're all set on this one. Because I definitely don't feel like this person knows how to play the game. These are the worst. Tasty. I mean, he'll be able to pull most of that right back with his hero power alone, but next turn we're gonna drop one of these Druid Claws. Ah, what? This is really bad. Okay, so I'll be pretty ashamed if this is the only win I get on stream tonight. Looks like we're still having video issues. So maybe it did have something to do with the quality? Feels like it... so here's the thing. It's gotta be a network issue, because as I'm seeing on my like OBS display, everything is looking fine. It's only when I go to the actual stream that I can see that there's some sort of visual lag here. It might have been the video quality, because when I dropped it to medium, everything kind of cooled down there. Is this guy hustling me? Like, what's the play here? Why would you drop a 5-cost 2/2 with no minions on the board? Is he asking me to concede? Is this some sort of meme I don't know about? My favorite.
Where shall I strike?
Aloof Neladar.
Yeah, you know, the way I see it, if I have to, I'll just make a switch on my Wi-Fi adapter, because it's looking like maybe I'm not able to keep a really strong connection. It's probably just translation from my life. What is happening? Okay, so was he pretending not to know how to play the game? Well, no, looking at these trades, no, this guy might just be bad at the game. Game view. Hey, there's our friend that I was just talking about earlier. Our meta-defining friend.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Oh, maybe this is someone's child.
This will be good. Aloof Neladar.
The end. We done went and done some good stuff there, friends. Actually, now we're gonna... Come on.
You were right to await.
Probably like 2 or 3 packs. Booyah. It's weird because, oh wait, this is a really nice one. Holy water. Well, now that I can play, Odd Priest, I have the, ooh, you know what? I was actually looking for this dude. For those weird combos that everybody's been doing. And the highlights and stuff. Y'all know I dream of a clippable moment every chance I get. You know, if we can make a habit of just climbing one rank a day, which, for the record, was a lot easier before we made this switch over to 5 stars for every rank. Which might have been part of the problem, but still. Tomorrow will probably be my first day back at work being, full on 100% after PAX, because let me tell you, very rarely have I had a weekend. And I've done, PAX all the way before. I did PAX a couple of years ago where I stayed, in a hotel. I've done PAX, staying with friends and exploring the city afterwards and all of that. But this one, just that one extra day, I've never had a weekend that has left me exhausted until, beyond the following week. That's crazy. I mean, now I'm kind of back at it, but that was seriously It's what's really good is that my opponent is playing a class that has a lot of ways out, a lot of good removal, a lot of board clear, a lot of big, powerful minions with great death rattles and things like that. And I'm giving him the opportunity to get more resources. I think that's probably the best possible strategy here. Let's let him mill. Because why not? Oh, God. Wow, this is really upsetting, watching my stream have so many hiccups like this, but I'm wondering if that is, an issue that's taking place throughout, because, see if you guys have any idea what my setup is, obviously, I'm looking back and forth between the stream itself and OBS. First and foremost, gotta keep my eye on OBS to make sure I'm not making any stupid faces, because I'm new enough to this where that's a concern of mine. Obviously gotta watch the stream to make sure that, levels are coming through clearly, see how many viewers there are, stuff like that. And then the chat is coming through, obviously through OBS based on what you can see. Who did he just silence? Okay. The way his cursor went, it looked like he silenced his own Lyra, and after that last guy, I'm worried enough. He's giving me a dragon right before... Okay. That's not too bad, I guess. That was not a good move. I probably shouldn't have left Lyra on the board there, but his hand is mostly full. That thief. Hey, look at that. Let's get some cards. Let's draw that Lich King. That's not what a Lich King looks like. You kidding me? Yeah, now that I got this new mic, I'm actually planning on kind of doing more of the videos like I used to. The essay style. That was kind of dumb, wasn't it? What I should have done was wrath this dude here, get him down to a 2, and then drop Primordial Drake. I should start being a little bit more patient with my turns, but you know, it's a little bit hard coming off of action games and fighting games to keep your pacing. Probably gonna try and go for Nova. I wasn't really trying to put like all my eggs in one basket. What I was really aiming for was to fake him out as to what resources I did have. So here's the thing about those 4 cards in my deck. Is that 2 of them are the best cards in my deck. It's Lich King and Malfurion are in there. And I'm gonna bet I know just based on the way that this always goes that the one I'll burn is Malfurion.
Beetleberry, my favorite.
My hand is too full.
What'd I just say? Hey, that's a good card to burn. But he drew something he really needed. That's why he did that. Is it Velen? Oh. And that's game. That's nice. I'm gonna level up. No, I must have finished the daily. I just can't seem to keep my music playing. Here's what we'll do. because I think the issue here is actually my browser. So we'll switch over to Firefox for the tunes. Oops. Okay. Let's get some of those good DK country tunes going. There it is, we did it. My guess is that this is going to be a lot better overall. It already looks like the video is responding better to me not having Chrome open. Maybe Chrome's the issue, I know it's been one for me in the past. Because it really is a super intensive browser despite running really efficiently. Cursed disciple. Not what I was hoping for, but I'll deal. Yeah, wow, looks like the stream is now like consistently running well. So now let's test and see if high quality messes anything up. There's a good way to use that one. Might be able to pull a win streak on this one, everybody. All active one of you. I think I was mentioning packs previously. Ooh, 10-7, that's good. Way to be, bro. Anywho, yeah, so I know I went over some of the highlights the last time I was on stream, but I was also still dealing with that post-PAX exhaustion and didn't have this gorgeous new mic. So I'd be happy to talk again about some of the best parts of the trip. You know, one thing for sure, as much as I love PAX, I think a big part of what makes it really work for me is that I am particularly fond of Boston as a city. Way to be. Sorry, I just want to make sure that I get this turned. Now do what you gotta do, man, because if you don't do something fast, I'm gonna close it out next turn. Anyway, yeah, you know, Boston's just such a great city. Yeah, I really have a fondness for like the overall layout of the. This always happens to me. I get really distracted when. Scam. I just want to make sure. Do your worst. Yeah, so, yeah, the city's great. Another big highlight was that I got to kind of experience it in a very different way. I was commuting back and forth each day because there's a bus station not too far from where I live, and that was a lot cheaper than it would have been for me to you know, take out a hotel. And yeah, I was primarily looking at a way to kind of do this trip on a budget. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I think I only ran into any issues my first day taking the bus out, but otherwise, it was a much more affordable option. You know, I didn't find myself more tired than I think I would have been if I had, you know, stayed in a hotel. The only part that I thought was a little bit much for me to have to deal with was, you know, it would be getting back to the station at night. After a full day of walking around and networking and meeting people and you know, yelling and cheering and going to panels and all that, and then getting back to my car and having to drive like 20 minutes to get home. You know, obviously it wasn't that big of a deal, but I'm not going to pretend it wasn't tiring. Now, I know it might seem a little bit weird that I'm focusing more on going wide than dropping, say, Elise or someone in a circumstance like this, but my objective here is to really kind of set up a 2-turn lethal. Because he's so low, if he were to leave even one of these guys, or if he were to leave 2 of these guys on the board, I might be able to close it out next turn with Branching Paths, Savage Roar. I mean, obviously that's not going to happen now, because apparently big dude over here has got a bunch of fancy plans with his stupid sword. I think I got a silver sword. But if he chooses the worst way to go about this, he's going to end up in some real trouble. Dude, you gotta send yourself and the horse into the 7-6, or you're gonna... Well, I guess that's game to me then. Oh no, he's gonna... That's a good trade, actually. He did good, but we're gonna do better. Now he's in a tough predicament. If he could, like, pyro equality, he could win. Or not win, but survive this turn. What's your plan, man? You got no odds. That's it. That's a wrap. We done went and done it, everybody. The end. Done. Game. Oh, you know what, though? He probably should have took a swing with that before he... Like, before he attacked. One more win will push us over rank 20. I'm breaking records out here, everybody. And we're gonna stick to the same deck too. We're really getting there. Sorry about that. Tending to some stuff. But gave you all the opportunity to catch me making one of those stupid faces I was talking about. Come on. I know you can push through. Guess one more match. This is probably the last one of the night before I decide to take it easy. Get a little bit of relaxation done. And hopefully I'll be able to have a video up this week. You'll probably spend the next couple of days writing something. I'm finishing up what should be my final, set of assignments for my first term of grad school, which is super exciting. Hopefully I can use a little bit of that extra time. I mean, I know work really tends to pick up around this time, but in a way of how kind of I would plan on doing things outside of that. I know I've been saying I want to make a Switch video forever at this point, but just because I've been saying it for a long time doesn't mean it's not true. I don't know about you guys, but my favorite would be beetleberries.
Beetleberries, my favorite.
This one knows what's up. Swamp King Dread. That's okay. I guess anything with Adapt could potentially get stealthed. I hope this isn't a Shutterwalk deck. It's a Shutterwalk deck. So, the thing about these decks is that one thing they have trouble with, or at the very least I've had trouble with playing them, is keeping a hand that's empty enough to be able to do all of the Shutterwalk plays and still be able to consecutively add them to your hand and then play them again. Unless this is just a regular Elemental Shaman, which is also good. I'm cool with that. But the likelihood of that is super low. I want to be able to go wide for those good trades if needed. Especially when there are so many buffs, Look, I'm no paladin, but I know how to do burst when needed. Okay, so this looks like it's just a regular Elemental Shaman. Which thankfully isn't like a super, super powerful deck. It's something that we can work with. I guess giving him the resources to get to his Kalamos might not be the most effective way, but if I don't start establishing some good board presence, I'm going to be in trouble. Thankfully, whatever he plays, we're going to dread. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be really kidding me. You better not be calling it any backup there, buddy. So you notice how I just did what was an 8 mana combo to get 10 armor and a 10/10 body on the board. Whereas if I were playing Coon, would have done exactly that, but the body would have been much less relevant. I mean, obviously, I don't know a person alive who plays Coon for that particular effect. It's just an interesting thing to note that the balance between the two is so inherently different that you're almost automatically always going to pick you're gonna automatically pick the mana crystal refreshing over the armor. And I think that, in a nutshell, is a lot of the problem that, and I remember people were saying this, like, a few of the big Hearthstone streamers were saying this back when Old Gods was first announced, and they were talking about Fandral. And the fact that, generally speaking, there's almost not enough utility to the choose one cards to really justify their inclusion in a deck. Obviously, this is very case by case. You know what'd be really cool is if we like Death Crypt is Kalamos. Unfortunately, it's not like this is some sort of combo deck or OTK deck, so like Kalamos being removed here isn't going to make or break his ability to, you know, play the game. But see if that stops me. I did it. I got the exact minion I was going for. You remember when I said, oh, let's hope we get his Burlock. Which, by the way, every so often, there's a minion name that is just next level good. Burlock is 100% one of those. Ooh. Oh, that's some good bait. No, you might trade the smaller ones, or no, oh, is this a Shutterlock deck? Or is just regular Elemental Shaman running this dude now? So I know I'm going to take the 7 for this, but I'm thinking my next turn I'm going to drop Malfurion. And for the taunt. Obviously I know the taunt's not going to do a whole lot. Well, it could. If I drew into another swipe, we're going to use both my swipes already. The dream would be draw into another swipe, drop Malfurion with some taunts, coin out the swipe, take out these two and this guy. Hey, oh yeah, I didn't take into account though, was that you get a healing totem. Which I might be able to make irrelevant in the long run here. My next play, unless he straight up murks me right now, I'm probably going to go for the UI on one of these three. They'll get me the armor, the cards, the minion. I am very confused at the decision making behind that. Looks like we're going to rank 19, boys. Are you a Shutterwalk deck? What are you? Oh, cool. This will be the first time I don't mill myself doing Ultimate Infestation. Next turn, I'll drop Sirenite and Elise. That's the yeah. I always misremembered it as being one of the. Wow. Okay. I'm blanking. I can't believe I'm blanking on this. The Silver Hand. I always like misremembered it as being the Silver Hand who say the ready for action. Oh, this is a Shutterlock deck. Does he know that all the damage goes to random targets? Probably not. So I'm going to draw my last card here, and then I'll play Elise. It was honestly a pretty good match. Like, I know it's not like anything earth-shattering, contrary to what a Shutterwalk deck should be. What's happening here? Is it gonna be Grumble? Thrall! Holy crap. That's...
I'm out of cards.
This jungle hides many secrets.
He's got some options here. If he's got like a lava burst, I'm dead. But we had to go for the long shot that he doesn't have anything in his hand that can be any sort of removal. Which I know is a little bit ridiculous given how much removal Shaman has by default. Now the ideal scenario is exactly what it is for my face.
I'm out of cards. Light and box.
Are you Minotaur?
Rank 19. But we started with no stars, so it's quite a few games. And an hour of streaming. So that's it for me for the night. Thank everybody who tuned in. I'm sorry for any issues we were having with the stream. I'll still try and archive it and upload it to YouTube, and then I'll figure out on my end kind of what's going on there and make sure that we're able to fix it. Yeah, but feel free to, for those of you watching on YouTube, subscribe, come back for more. We keep it chill around here. And then, of course, for, any more reviews or news or essays, analysis, everything under the sun, that's games. Stick it here with the game room.